All right, welcome into another video interview for Cubs, and I'm Clint and Cole. Joining me is Cole Roederer. Cole and I kind of made friends or whatever in South Bend a couple years ago, and it's funny because it's not funny, but since we were there in South Bend in 2019, there's been no baseball for minor league baseball, and it's getting ready to start the season. First of all, man, thanks for joining me. I appreciate this.
Of course, man. And like you said, it's pretty weird to say it now. That's a couple of years. That's pretty weird. I haven't heard that out loud yet, but wow, that's kind of weird.
It's just like you think about it, and middle of February now, and then like obviously 2020 was just ridiculous for everyone. But then it's like, luckily, I mean, I guess for myself, I don't remember it as much because nothing serious happened to me or my family.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for everyone that wasn't, immediately affected by it, I think, it's probably a good year to forget. But anyways, let's get into some baseball. After 2019, you guys won the championship in South Bend. And then the next season, you told me that we talked in August that, you put on some good weight and you're ready to go and kind of refine a few things, and then you said you got to do Instructs last fall. Let's go back to Instructs and kind of tell me about that.
It was a good experience, man. It was a tough one with the masks. Our first encounter with the masks with professional baseball. It was different. There's a lot of different process procedures, a lot of hoops you have to jump through on a daily basis to make things, to make ends meet. We were fortunate enough to get in. I think. I believe it was like 16 games, 15 games. I think, the last weekend got a little haywire. We had a false positive. That wasn't a confirmed false positive until the last couple days. So we missed the last week, but it was a good experience. I felt good. I felt like I really, after not playing all that time, I was a little nervous how I'd, perform in, game speed because we hadn't done it in so long. But, over those 15, 20 games, I felt like I definitely was like, all right, I'm on the right track. We're on a good note here.
So what have you done since Instructs stopped or finished until now? We're at February 18th. What have you kind of focused on in these last, 2, 3, 4 months?
To be honest with you, it's been a combination of things. I've really just been working on, maturing as a baseball player, as a person. My biggest challenge in South Bend, I was 19 years old, the first time away from home. I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready mentally. And I can admit that now, hindsight 2020, but I wasn't ready mentally. That's one thing. I had to grow up real fast. And in this game and in this, line of work, you tend to have to grow up fast, at a young age. So this past year, just prepping for my body, my mind to go through this war, as you will, 160 games. It's a long time. It's hard on the body. It's hard on the mind. So this past year, I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and, I'm getting ready for whatever's thrown at me.
We kind of talked about, I guess the schedule for minor league baseball is released today, and then AAA will start normal, and then the other levels will start that first week of May. So you've got half a month, 2.5 months, whatever, 6, 8, 12 months, 12 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is, until that first game. So now, we kind of talked about up until then. So now these next 10 weeks, what's kind of the game plan for you?
Now it's just all about refining, man. We've worked on the big things. We've worked on, the big changes. Now it's just time to refine, grind in those last little final things, those last little directional issues if I have at the plate, or, those last little mechanical issues, while I'm throwing those nitty gritty details. Now we just fine tune everything. So when we come into spring training, we're locked and loaded. Like we could go play 160 games right off the rip right there.
Some of your teammates, I talked with Brennan, what was that? I would say maybe the second week of January. And you talk about, you've put on some good weight. That dude's gotten bigger too. He's dude. You both look so much different.
Yeah, dude. He especially out of all people, he hit some man puberty that he didn't have.
He was. We were just talking. I just like, dude. You can tell you guys have both been, putting on good weight. So that's good to see. You've got spring training coming up here or whatever, starting here in a few days or today or whenever you guys are starting. What are you most looking forward to? I guess being around the guys and stuff. And, I I would assume that's kind of the biggest thing. I mean, I don't. What is it for you?
It is. It's seeing everyone again. When you walk into that clubhouse, especially now, we're not allowed to shake hands. Say hello. Like you would for your family. So, truthfully, it's the experience of that brotherhood. The little moments when you're sitting in the outfield, with a pitcher of all people, and he's telling you about some life stuff. Just laughing, just those little things that kind of get overlooked by the media and over time. You know what I mean? But
unless you played the game, you don't really get it.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And like those little moments, those discussions, those little things that kind of leave that mark on you in your life. Those are the moments I kind of live for, and those are the moments I'm most excited for. Obviously, I'm excited to get back to baseball. I miss baseball. I feel like I'm kind of just lost a bit of identity now, but I'm those little moments I'm waiting for again.
What do you think? I mean, I'm going to ask you this question. I don't want to get you in trouble though, but what do you think of some of the moves the organization has made? I mean, getting rid of Darvish, and I mean, obviously John Lester, his time there. I mean, okay, everyone knows that if watched our videos, I'm a White Sox fan, so we got that out of the way. But what John Lester did obviously for you guys in the World Series, and then obviously everyone declines and all that other good stuff, and they just decided it was time for him to move on. And Kyle Schwarber, another guy who, without those two guys, obviously there's no World Series for the Cubs. And then Darvish last year, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball last year. Now he's moved on. What are your kind of some of your thoughts on some of those moves? I mean, obviously it's going to open up some spots for a trickle down effect for people to move up and get more time in different levels. Mm-hmm. What are your kind of overall thoughts of those guys?
It's interesting moves to say the least, but I think with all this mayhem, there's a plan. Jed's he's not a dumb guy by any means. He's very calculated in what he does. They don't give that job to just about anyone. So, in the light of all things, it might look like mayhem. It might look like some false moves, but I don't know. If we had another guy to come in here and have the same exact moves that Theo did, we'd still be stuck. In the last couple of years, it hasn't worked. You know what I mean? And you can only ride on the guys that that you've ridden for years and years and years, that only plays out so much. There's a reason, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, they're not going to play till they're 60, 70 years old. Tom Brady, he's not going to play till he's 55, 60. Those guys, they wear out, and baseball is a little bit quicker than that for, because we play so many games. So, hey man, if he wants to shake it up, I'm all here for it. Let's change the culture. Let's get back to being a winning team. There's guys coming up in this organization right now, me, Brennan, Cam Sanders, Cole Franklin, Ryan Jensen, those guys among my peers, we're hungry. We're ready. We're ready to take a championship back home to Wrigley. You know what I mean? We're those young guys. We're hungry. We smell fresh blood in the water. We're ready to go. So I'm all here for it. Like you said, that trickle down, move up. I'm all here for it. Shake it up all you want. We'll handle whatever's thrown at us.
Another name that was in South Bend was Braylon. Braylon Marquez got some time with the Cubs. I mean, pitched against the White Sox. I mean, didn't fare as well as obviously he wanted to, but I mean that doesn't matter. That's whatever.
Yeah, he's 21 years. I mean, that's his first experience. He's one of those dudes. He works off pace. If he gets a little nervous, he takes some time. But dude, I kid you not, give that kid some time. Give him a couple more starts in the league. Let him get comfortable, because when he's comfortable, he's dangerous. And that boy throwing 102 into the 5th, 6th inning at your hands, it comes from experience. It hurts. It hurts. It feels awful. So, hey, those big leaguers got to run for their money. I'm telling them.
He's, I think, I don't know how many games I went to in 2019. I'd say, I don't know, probably 10, 15 games. I saw, I saw Liberatore. I saw Shane Baz. Obviously, Juan Franco was there. I saw a bunch of guys come through, and then obviously the guys that stood out for you were you, Brennan, and Braylon. And then towards the end, I mean, what Nelson did in the playoff run, I mean, that was pretty cool. But I mean, watching Braylon against that level is just like, he needs to let's get him up here pretty soon.
Dude, I remember one game. He's in the weight room, and I applaud this dude. He really took it upon himself. He was a little overweight. People were on his ass a little bit for being overweight. So he handled it. You know what I mean? I remember this so vividly, because this is when everything changed for this kid. He comes up to one of our strength coaches. He's got a weighted vest on, and he just tells, he's like, hey man, like, he's in Spanish. He's like, hey man, give me some sprints. I want to go. He's like, I just want to go. It's time for me to, get working. And dude, I kid you not, I watched that dude run pole to pole for a good half an hour, just actually getting after it. Comes in the weight room, starts getting after it. And I've never seen this dude actually get after it like this, because he's a good kid, but he's very lackadaisical. He doesn't move with a lot of intent all the time. This dude was in a different gear. He turned up a different level, and after that, I kid you not, next outing he went with 14 Ks, and I played right behind him. I watched every single K in center field. I watched this dude just work with art on a canvas right there. It was beautiful. This dude, I've never seen him come out 101 off the first pitch of the game, 102 the second one, and 101 to strike the kid out the first batter. And I knew the team that they were facing. I got some buddies on that team, and I was like, oh boy, this dude's feeling himself today. And I kid you not, 14 Ks, lights out, changeups working, fastballs working. I mean, every pitch was just absolutely just perfect.
That's a guy that we're talking about, the trickle down. I mean, there's that guy. I mean, you've got Kyle Hendricks, you've got Zach Davies, you got just signed Jake, but I mean, you got Alec Mills, and then that fifth spot, I don't know, there's a spot. I mean, that's a spot that Braylon can take.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other guys that are gonna get. I mean, everyone's gonna get a shot, but out of the trickle down thing I was talking about, he's got that first shot to
make
a difference.
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna get a lick at that one spot, but there's always a plan. And I feel like there's always kind of the dealer's got some cards in his hand. He's got the guys he kind of wants, the guys on his list of first opportunists. So, hey man, if that kid goes up there and does what he can do and shoves like he should, he's got the fifth spot in my opinion.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely wouldn't be surprised at all.
I mean, if you can get him this year, get him some good reps, have him go to, if you need to drop him down in AAA for a little bit, have him get some reps there, but keep him up in the big leagues. Let him get some time. Let him get some experience around the big league guys. Let him get his comfortability up. Let him actually, he's a young kid. Let him get comfortable. Let him get dangerous. He's gonna make a difference for this organization, 100%.
Let's get back to you. We kind of talked, in August about what you do in your free time, but what did you do in your free time, I guess, I guess there is no winter where you are, but over the winter, so to speak. Your winters are not our winters. We'll just say that. So
yeah, our winters are close to your winters.
Right.
Dude, it was kind of weird, with COVID and everything. This is the first time I've ever had a summer vacation. So I went to the beach. I actually enjoyed some sand, enjoyed the waves a little bit. So that was very exciting. But when the lights kicked back on for baseball, it was just full go. So the past 4 or 5 months, it's been 4 days a week lifting, 3 days a week hitting, getting after, getting ready, and just absolutely just enjoying the moment. You know what I mean? This past year, it's kind of crazy. I see it all the time. If COVID never happened, the version of yourself wouldn't be existing right now. So I think that's a very powerful statement. When you actually think about it, hindsight 2020. I've definitely learned a lot of things, and now I'm playing with my feet where my feet are now. So I'm excited for this year, man. I'm really excited.
One other guy I forgot is Chris Morrell. That's really you want to talk about a guy with all the talent in the world, man.
Yeah, dude, he's Manny Machado. He's always been that way. In my opinion, hot take. And if this dude pans out the way I expect him to, he will be better than Machado. He'll sign a bigger deal than Machado, and he'll be better than Machado. I'm telling you, this dude, he's 21 years old. Throws 101 across the diamond at least. His balls so hard I've ever seen. This dude, he had a busted knee from an injury in South Bend. Played on it, handled himself, and I saw this dude hit a bomb against the Whitecaps in Michigan. I don't think the ball got higher than maybe a 6'2" third baseman. Got about his head height and got out on a line. Most amazing thing I've ever seen, and that's special. That is not, those guys are anomalies. Those are the Giancarlo Stantons of the size and demeanor. This dude's got it. This dude's got it in his bag. He's nasty.
I think the biggest reason why he may not be obviously not talked about like with you and Brennan and Braylon and maybe Cole or whatever is because he did get hurt and he did not play that last bit of the season in 2019.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing too. Like, I think the world's in for a big shock when they see the arsenal we got coming up in the organization. I mean, we are slept on. Our organization is so slept on. The talent we have is so slept on. Guys like Cam Sanders, Riley Thompson, Tyler Darna. like these dudes that are so slept on, the Andy Webbers. You know what I mean? Like, we got some dogs. These dudes, they're dudes in college, and it's not like they just went away. These dudes are just slept on. So once you get these guys some light, some wiggle room to shine, I mean, these dudes are gonna take off.
It's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, I obviously, you know, I'm not rooting for the Cubs to win another World Series anytime, but I mean, yeah, I'm rooting for you guys to do well. You know, obviously, just because I know you guys, and it's gonna be fun to watch over the next couple of years. We'll let you go here in a second. One last thing for you. What's kind of your biggest thing this year? I mean, you said, you know, at the beginning of last year was you wanted to translate that strength into games and stuff. So what's kind of your biggest thing this year going into it?
Honestly, it's just one day at a time this year. You know, it's last year, I screwed myself, honestly. You know what I mean? I was 19, had all this hype around me, all this, you know, this big, oh, he's gonna hit this many bombs, you know, he's gonna hit this, you know, doubles, singles, all these statistics, all these expectations, and I 100% let it get to me, without a doubt. Like I said, I wasn't mentally ready, so all that pressure, you know, I wasn't ready, but hey man, pressure builds diamonds. So I'm ready for this year. I'm ready. One day at a time, one pitch at a time. You know, one AB at a time. We're gonna be just all right.
All right, man. Stay healthy out there. Stay safe. We're looking forward to seeing the season, and we'll see what you guys can do. All right. Thank you for your time today, man.
Have a good one.
All right. That's Cole Roederer here with Cubs Den.